What is up, A to Z Sports? Sam Phelan coming at you live with some Titans practice live minicamp edition. We just wrapped up minicamp. I'm here at St. Thomas Sports Park. We got done with Titans practice. We spoke to some Titans players coming off the field. We got Treylon Burks at the podium and head coach Mike Vrabel at the podium. And yes, we were, of course, discussing with the star wide receiver and the head coach about the new rumor that has come out about DeAndre Hopkins. We're going to talk about the rumor that it was reported by Tom Pelissero earlier today. D-Hop to the Titans. Is it happening? What would have to happen to make it happen? Then I'm going to tell you guys about one player that I feel like shined during today's practice, really blew me away, and is looking better and better each week. And one player that there seems to be a large red flag surrounding, and there has continued to be this red flag throughout a lot of the offseason. So we're going to talk a lot to talk about here from mini camp after show. We still have a lot to talk about. Before we get into everything, I want to tell you guys that this show is powered by Holiday World. Holiday World recently voted one of the top water parks in the Midwest. You can get your tickets at holidayworld.com and the Nashville Super Speedway, because NASCAR is back in Nashville and tickets are going fast. Visit NashvilleSuperspeedway.com now to get your tickets and get in on the action before they're gone. Okay, let's talk about what is driving Titans fans crazy right now, because there is a report from Tom Pelissero, and you see it right here. DeAndre Hopkins is scheduled to fly to Nashville on Sunday for a visit with the Tennessee Titans. He was released by the Arizona Cardinals, so just a few weeks ago, I believe, and everybody pointed out the fit, said, hey, the Titans need a wide receiver. They need a wide receiver with veteran experience, and they need a go-to guy in this offense, a playmaker to pair alongside Treylon Burks. We asked Mike Vrabel about it a few weeks ago, and he said, yeah, we're always looking to add talent. But now we finally have something to link the Titans to D-Hop. A visit on Sunday. This will not be the only visit DeAndre Hopkins takes. Do not expect DeAndre Hopkins to sign with the Titans on Sunday or Monday or Tuesday. Like, this is a process that's going to take time throughout a lot of this summer, but at least we know there's interest and the Titans are making a legitimate effort. And if they're making an effort, does this also mean they are going to think about a potential restructure of a contract extension, a cut? I don't really feel like a cut is going to happen or reasonable, but they have to find money. Right now, the Titans sit with just under $8 million in salary cap space. I think DeAndre Hopkins is going to get double that. I mean, it might be hard to believe, but if Odell Beckham Jr. got $15 million, that can escalate to $18 million. I think DeAndre Hopkins is the better player. Now, granted, D-Hop maybe gets a longer-term deal that can make that first-year cap hit a bit smaller, especially for a team like the Titans who have more money coming off the books in 2024. But it's going to cost more money than the $8 million the Titans have right now. So how can they clear up salary cap space? Well, Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, Kevin Byard are the three easy names to bring up for a potential contract extension. Henry, Tannehill, up at the end of 2023. Kevin Byard has through the end of 2024. So maybe you can do a move that locks somebody up like Kevin Byard longer term, but lowers his cap hit for this year by giving him some money up front or restructuring. Another guy I want to point out is Harold Landry. Harold Landry, the Titans extended before training camp last season. He tears his ACL. You haven't gotten any return on that investment yet, and there's a big cap hit and a lot of money there to move around. So I would keep an eye on Harold Landry too. I think the Titans probably need to clear $10 to $12 million to be on the safe side, to be around $20 million in cap if you're going to go after DeAndre Hopkins. That's what these meetings are about. They're going to talk to D-Hop about money, about fit. Mike Vrabel said he wasn't recruiting and wasn't going to recruit a player. He wants players who are going to be here. But that's ultimately what this is, trying to sell DeAndre Hopkins on Tim Kelly, an offensive coordinator that he's familiar with, on Treylon Burks being paired alongside him and catching balls from Ryan Tannehill, who is one of the more consistent passers, if you're just looking at passing, in the league. So we talked to Mike Vrabel. We also talked to Treylon Burks after practice. Let's start with the head coach. on the DeAndre Hopkins rumor and him addressing it for the first time.
Updated on any possibilities of adding personnel. There's a report from the NFL Network that DeAndre Hopkins is going to visit on Sunday. Is that accurate? And you're looking forward to making a pitch to him?
Yeah, well, the first thing is we want players that want to be here. I think we want people that want to be here, and then we'll work through anything else. And so, we brought in a bunch of different players. DeAndre will be somebody that we'll bring in next week, early next week, at the end of this week, and go through the same visit that we go through with everybody, and then start the process.
Now, that is head coach Mike Vrabel, obviously saying as little as possible while also addressing the rumor. I mean, the Titans are actively looking for help, and it's no news to Mike Vrabel that wide receiver is still a position of need where they could be looking to add some talent. DeAndre Hopkins now certainly in their sights, but Vrabel made it very clear, look, I'm not recruiting. I left that at Ohio State. You heard him say it. I want players who want to be here. And I think that's part of what this meeting is going to be for Tennessee and for D-Hop, right? You want to give Hopkins an idea of what it would be like here. But if you're the Titans, you want an idea of what it's going to take to get him and how he fits in with your culture and what you want to do. This is two-sided here. Now let's listen to Treylon Burks, because Burks is an interesting variable in all of this as a guy who is looking to take a jump into year two in his career, who we have seen nothing but positive things from on the field, heard nothing but positive things about from his coaches and teammates, and ultimately stands to gain and potentially lose a lot from adding DeAndre Hopkins. Like, could Hopkins take away some targets? Could Hopkins become the number one? Yes. Does that hurt Treylon Burks? Maybe. I think there's a lot of experience that DeAndre Hopkins has and a lot of attention that DeAndre Hopkins would command that could actually help Treylon Burks. So let's hear from the Titans' second-year wide receiver and former first-round pick Treylon Burks on the idea of playing with D-Hop.
Put out that DeAndre is coming to visit on Sunday. It's the first free agent stop. What would you think about having him as a teammate?
That's something that I can't control. He's an awesome player, a great player. It would be fun to play with him. So, if we end up getting him, then we get him. If we don't, then we don't. But no offense to him, he's a great player. I'm just glad. I like playing with who we have here.
So there is Treylon Burks. Ken with a great comment here says Burks needs someone to learn from. That's another thing that Treylon talked about was like, look, this is a guy that I grew up watching. DeAndre Hopkins has been doing this for a long time. Treylon Burks obviously grew up a fan of the NFL, grew up a fan of wide receivers, and he has seen a guy that could now potentially come in and mentor him and help him along to going from talented youngster to elite wide receiver in the National Football League. That's what we're ultimately hoping to get out of Treylon Burks long term. So how could DeAndre Hopkins expedite that process? Kane, on the other side of things, says, here we go again. Have we not learned from the past? This is literally the meaning of insanity. He passes on D-Hop. And I'm curious to see Titans fans, just go ahead and drop a comment below if you're joining us right now. Are you in or out on DeAndre Hopkins with the Tennessee Titans? Because I think we all know they need the help. We all know what they could stand to gain from it. But if it does come with a significant financial investment or long-term commitment, is there a bitter taste in the mouth of Titans fans from years past of Robert Woods, of Vic Beasley, of Andre Johnson, of Randy Moss, of old players, even old wide receivers, specifically Julio Jones recently as well for the Titans, that haven't worked out here, and seen how that has kind of handicapped the Titans in years moving forward. So I'm just going through real quick. We've got Fade says in, Stefan is in, Birds is in, Zoe is in, Steven is in, Bork is in. So Kane, you might be in the minority, my man. Steven is with you on out, but William is in. Brian says Burks seems salty. I do want to say this was not the vibe that I got from Treylon Burks. I do think he was trying to watch what he says a little bit, because this is an ongoing negotiation. A player who is still a free agent and has not been signed, he doesn't want to come out and be like, oh, yeah, I need the Titans to sign DeAndre Hopkins. I don't think there's any sort of hard feelings or saltiness from Treylon, though. I think he was very genuinely in on the idea of playing with this guy and learning from DeAndre Hopkins should it fall into the Titans' lap. He also can't throw his own teammates under the bus, right? He's not going to come out and say, in. We need the help. Have you seen the other guys in the room with me? He's not going to do that. So I'm not reading too much into Treylon's comments. I think it would be a good thing for him. I think he recognizes that. And for a guy who is increasingly more confident, I think it's a really good fit for Treylon and for DeAndre Hopkins. So I'm going to tell you what I saw from Treylon today, because he shined today. Treylon Burks impressed me today more so than he has in any of the days prior to today's minicamp practice. I'm going to tell you exactly what he did and why. But before I do that, I want to tell everybody about Holiday World. Holiday World's powering today's show, and they were recently voted the top water park in the Midwest. You can go and get tickets at holidayworld.com for their Holidays in the Sky drone and fireworks spectacular. It's bigger and better than ever from June 17th to July 30th with 400 LED lit drones and a one-of-a-kind 15-minute show to celebrate the 4th of July. There's soft drinks, parking, sunscreen, all for free with admission to the park, a DJ and a dance party before the show, and the show ends with a great fireworks spectacular finale, plus award-winning rides. And who doesn't love those? I'm talking the Thunderbird, the Voyage, wooden roller coasters. It's fun for the whole family at Holiday World. So get your tickets at holidayworld.com. It's the place to go this summer. Just drive up there. Recently voted the top water park in the Midwest, and a great fireworks show if you're looking to celebrate the 4th. All right, let's talk Treylon Burks. Treylon, today was kind of a red zone day for the Titans on the practice field. A lot of work inside the 15-yard line, working on some different concepts, a lot of live 11-on-11, and it took a little bit for the offense to get going. They shined at the end with 6 touchdowns and 9 reps from Tannehill and Malik Willis, both doing a very nice job late. But Treylon Burks really made some plays down in the red zone. Early on, Tannehill threw him a ball into the left corner. He went up over the top of Roger McCreary, wrestled it down, scored the touchdown, did a little celebration. Later in the practice, Treylon Burks had Kevin Byard draped all over his back, like not an inch of room, but he dove to the ground with Kevin right on top of him, secured the catch, secured the touchdown, and lit up. This is something else that I'm seeing out of Treylon Burks, is not just the play on the field, not just the physicality and the athleticism and how fast and physical he looks, but he looks happy. He looks confident. He is having fun on the football field, and it's a 180 from the Treylon Burks that we saw this time last year. Even in his press conferences, talking to Treylon Burks, he seems like a completely different guy, and he would tell you straight up, football is more fun for him right now.
Fun for you right now?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
No, I just feel like I'm just going out there and just having fun, playing with my teammates, not thinking too much, and just doing my job.
There it is. He said it's a lot more fun. It's a lot more fun. And he added, like, how's my chemistry with Ryan Tannehill? Good. Why? How do I know? He's throwing me the ball. He trusts me. Those are all good things. And like I said, his personality has started to come out, which is a result of having fun, which is a result of confidence. Treylon told the media after practice today that wide receivers coach Rob Moore has really done wonders for him in terms of building and sustaining his confidence that he is capable of playing in the National Football League and playing at a high level. Zoe Almighty thinks Burks is going to be a stud. And I have to tell you, I agree. He is my guy in 2023 that I believe is due for a big breakout season. Whether DeAndre Hopkins is here or not, I think you're going to get a heavy dose of Treylon Burks in the Titans offense. They're looking for creative ways to get him involved and get him the football. We know that he's fast. We know that he's physical. Those are 2 elements that Mike Vrabel loves in his offense. And Ryan Tannehill, I can already tell, is starting to trust Treylon more than he ever was a year ago. So positive news for the 2022 first-round pick. But I mentioned off the top of the show that there is one guy who I believe has a bit of a red flag right now. It's kind of been negative surrounding this player for a lot of the offseason, all of OTAs, all of minicamp, and I'm going to talk about it. A lot of question marks looming. Before I do, I want to tell you guys about my good friends over at the Nashville Super Speedway, because NASCAR is back in Nashville from June 23rd to 25th at Nashville Super Speedway, and tickets are going fast. From your favorite drivers to your favorite country singers, including award-winning artist Parker McCollum, Nashville's premier race weekend has it all. And this year's NASCAR Cup Series race, the Ally 400, is under the lights and in prime time, with performances on the Fan Zone stage, premium spaces to bring your race weekend to the next level like a mechanical bull, line dancing, and so much more. Fun for the whole family can be found at Nashville Super Speedway's triple header race weekend. You've got the Rackley Roofing 200 on Friday, June 23rd, the Tennessee Lottery 250 on Saturday, June 24th, and the NASCAR Cup Series race, the Ally 400, on Sunday, June 25th. I'm going to be there. I went to the Nashville Super Speedway just about a month ago. They hosted me for a media event. It was a great time. It's going to be a great place to watch a race. The vibes are high, and NASCAR is starting to become something that we should see in Nashville long term. So make sure you get your tickets. Visit NashvilleSuperspeedway.com today to get your tickets before they're gone for the race or the triple header race weekend. Okay. We have one player to discuss. A couple of you guys are throwing some guesses out there. No, it is not KB, Brian. Kevin Byard did not speak today. Kevin Byard did not speak yesterday. Kevin Byard claims he's going to be at the podium tomorrow for the media. He said, don't worry. I know you guys have a lot of questions. I'm going to answer them tomorrow. He seemed to have good fun with it. He understands people are curious and asking. So, no, it's not KB, but Bork is on the money. It is Christian Fulton, who was once again not on the practice field today. Elijah Molden returned, but there's still no sign of Fulton. We know he's here. He's in the building, but he has not been on the field for mandatory minicamp. Mike Vrabel was asked today, very frankly, by Paul Kaharski, is Christian Fulton dealing with another soft tissue injury, another soft tissue issue? He declined to answer the question. You get the vibe.
Here to tell you
oh, yeah.
The broadcast is going to be shortened by rain.
Paul Kaharski is now chirping me from the parking lot here at St. Thomas Sports Park as he, I don't know if you guys can hear him or not, but he's now tuning in live audience as the rain starts to come down on me here in Nashville. But Mike Vrabel did this. There he is. What's up, Paul? Mike Vrabel did not discuss Christian Fulton. You've gotten the vibe basically the entire offseason that this is a sore subject for the head coach. He has not wanted to bring this up really since last offseason. He said at the end of the year, look, Christian has to find a way to train. He brought him up as one of the repeat offenders of soft tissue injuries, and now he hasn't been on the field. He wasn't at OTAs. He was working on his own training regimen, and he's not here for minicamp. So I get this negative vibe about Christian Fulton. I get a negative vibe with where he stands with the coaching staff and the organization in what should be a huge year for him going into year 4. This is the year that Christian needs to take the next step. He needs to be available, and he needs to be a leader on this defense with a huge opportunity in a contract season to earn that money and earn that payday. And I just haven't seen it. I've wanted to look for some hope, some bright spots in Christian Fulton going into year 4. We heard from Chris Harris, his positions coach, a couple weeks ago, talking about Christian, saying, look, it's about consistency, attention to detail. I'm trying to see how much of that I can get out of Christian, but he hasn't been on the field. He's in the meeting room. This is a situation of concern, a situation to monitor. I think Titans media is going to try and circle back on the Christian Fulton situation with Mike Vrabel tomorrow and really see if we can get some answers about what's going on with him. If indeed it is an injury, you have to feel like that's not sitting well with the head coach, who is sick and tired of the injuries and specifically soft tissue. So keep Christian Fulton on top of mind as the rest of the week plays out. I won't be with you guys here tomorrow. I am going on a trip for a wedding. Got a wedding in the family. My brother gets married this weekend, so I will be out of Nashville tonight. Austin Stanley of A to Z Sports will be at Titans practice tomorrow. He will be going live for me around the same time tomorrow to talk about Kevin Byard's comments, to see what Mike Vrabel has to say about Christian Fulton, and to keep monitoring both Treylon Burks and Kyle Phillips and this offense, seeing how it all comes together under new OC Tim Kelly. This is Titans Practice Live. Please make sure you join us tomorrow. Keep an eye out for all of our content covering the DeAndre Hopkins stuff and whether or not this thing's going to be happening this weekend on A to Z Sports.com. We'll see you guys next time. Appreciate you.